Good afternoon, sir. This is Group 1 presenting our presentation for the research manuscript regarding our product, Sagip.
Introduction. Crisis. A word every person may be familiar to. In our world, we have all faced different sorts of situations that involve some sort of danger, be it performing a stunt or running away from a storm. The face of danger is one of that everybody knows. Unfortunately, not all have the access to the necessary aid in order to alleviate themselves from the situation. There are many conditions that follow those certain unfortunate events, however, it can be reduced. Enter Sagip. What is being introduced with this application is a new phase of civilian aid that is ensured to get into the hands of all. An application that takes the conventional emergency aid 911 call and takes it to the social media platform. The idea behind the creation of this application and its specialty is in its convenience to use. For example, should you find yourself being held up at your local convenience store, like the application introduced a one-tap SOS call to local authorities. An application created with the intention of aiding as many as possible who are looking for an escape route out of the pinch they're in. With the innovative use of the social media platform, it combines the modern day emergency services and a social network in order to further upgrade the capabilities of helping many civilians. Meaning, this doesn't just apply to situations such as those, but in any situation people seem dangerous for them to handle, and thus requiring the assistance of someone more capable and at their convenience.
In attempting to gather sufficient data, several methods were applied. Starting with an NABC, the product's necessary strengths and qualities were outlined. From there, an initial survey was produced in order to narrow down the qualities it should acquire, for example, the pricing or the effectivity of the product, etc. The next and final move was to create a TAM questionnaire which would further detail the necessary strengths it should have in order to compete in the market. To narrow down the necessary audience in the market, it was necessary to have laid out these methods.
So for the result, majority of the respondents are aging 20 to 30 years old. 52.5% of the respondents are females and 44.6% are males. 74.8% of the respondents are students. So majority of the respondents are students. Their monthly household income, most of them have above 39,000 pesos monthly income. So for subscription services for the application, 46.5% are willing to pay 34.99 pesos per 3 months. So for this part, this is for perceived ease of use. The first is it enables access to necessary information for the user. 165 out of 202 respondents agreed or chooses the range 5. For the second is learning to utilize the application was simple, and 130 out of 202 respondents, weighing 64.4%, chooses 5, while 32.2% chooses 4. For the program system makes it easy to navigate. 120 out of 202 respondents, weighing 59.4%, chooses the range 5. Next is 115 out of 202 respondents chooses range 5 for the guide built within the application doesn't confuse the user. For the overall, the application requires minimal to no effort in order to use. 132 out of 202 respondents, weighing 65.3%, chooses range 5. Next is for attitude towards using. Number 1, Using social media as a platform is a clever idea, and 173 out of 202 respondents chose range 5, weighing 85.6% of the respondents. Second, the application is a positive tool for the user, and 147 out of 202 respondents chooses the range 5. Third is the application would be worth using considering its purpose, and 156 out of 202 respondents, weighing 77.2%, agreed or chose the range 5. Next, number 4, that 150 out of 202 respondents agreed that the purpose of the application will serve many for a long period of time. And lastly, I consider the application to be flexible as it can serve many people despite their profession. 161 out of 202 respondents agreed or chooses the range 5, weighing 79.7% of the respondents. For the intention to use the application, first is I intend to use it for as long as possible, and 154 out of 202 respondents chooses range 5. Second, I will use it for the situation that even I may not be involved in but for others as well. 158 out of 202 respondents chooses the range 5, weighing 78.2% of the respondent. Third, should the phone network fail and I find myself in an emergency situation, I will use the application. And 158 out of 202 respondents, weighing 78.2%, agreed or chooses the range 5. Next is I intend to prioritize the application future updates and to take advantage of the possible features it may have later on. And 157 out of 202 respondents chooses the range 5, weighing 77.7% of the respondents. And lastly, I intend to recommend and introduce the application to others to install it as part of the preparations, and 162 out of 202 respondents agreed or chooses the range 5, weighing 80.2% of the respondents, while the other 16.3% chooses the range 4.
In conclusion to the results presented in the previous slides, most of the respondents age within the range of 20 to 30 years old and currently still studying. The respondents have a monthly household income of 39,000 pesos and is willing to pay 34.99 pesos for the subscription of the product. For the perceived use of product, residents agree that it enables access to necessary information for the user. It is also shown in the graph that they find it simple to learn and simple to utilize the application. Overall, 65.3% of the respondents say that the application requires minimum to no effort in order to use. The respondents find it clever that social media platform was used for the application. It is considered as a flexible app as it can serve many people despite their profession, as seen in the results, having 79.7%. The application also has a meaningful purpose and can serve its users for a long period of time. The users or the respondents may use the application for a long time, having the percentage rate of 76.2% for personal and for emergencies in general, having 78.2%. 80.2% responded that the application will be recommendable to other phone users too.
So to conclude, dangers are inevitable when people are outside of their homes. Some of them need a quick response, especially during unfortunate situations like accidents or any medical situation. So the SAGIP application can help
people find their immediate response during these unfortunate events or situation. So gathering data, there are several methods are applied. So for example, NABC and TAM questionnaires and survey questionnaires. So the gathered data shows promising results in different parameters in the business research, like product efficiency, quality, strengths, etc. And the data shows the product is efficient and can help people in giving immediate response in their need. So these are the reference we use in our business research. Thank you.